How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you my review of Rurouni Kenshin 2023 Remake, Episode 1, entitled Kenshin Himura Battousai. Before going any further, please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. Boy, oh boy. I know I've casually mentioned throughout many of my other reviews that this was coming, and I was excited for this. And if I don't sound excited, it's because it's late and I took the time to watch this because this is like a GIF, right? There's no way I could have been able to review this as a child because, well, one, we didn't have YouTube and stuff like this when I was a kid, and two, the first anime, as much as I love that Kyoto arc is probably one of the best arcs in all of manga. I probably wouldn't have reviewed the series. Lots of filler, and all sorts of other craziness. But I don't know if I ever put up my top 10 favorite anime or my top 10 anime, right? Not just favorite, top 10 anime. And on my list, Rurouni Kenshin is not on that list, but it is my number one favorite manga of all time. Probably going to rebuy this box set. It's last book, second to last, third to last, and not even in just the beginning of the last arc of the Inishi Revenge arc. I love the hell out of this series. This is the OVA. I think it was the last OVA at the time. I'm sincerely happy that this is non-canon. Although his son is in here, it's non-canon. This has a happy ending. It looks awkward. Really good animation though. What is Rurouni Kenshin? Technically, actually, I need to get the full name. Technically, the full name of the series is Rurouni Kenshin Meiji Kinkaku Romantan. It's a swordsman romance. Technically, swordsman romance. Just this is a series that's so near and dear to my heart, and it's funny because if you talk to other people who grew up during that anime era, that sort of beginnings that we had, because you can't forget, the Speed Racers, the Voltrons. You can't forget those early things, and then you go into the Dragon Ball Z's, and we have our Rurouni Kenshins, our Ronin Warriors, our Yu Yu Hakusho. Shout out to anybody that remembers Ronin Warriors. But this thing has a huge following in Japan as well. Like it sold at least over 150,000 volumes. It is one of Shueisha's, I want to say Shueisha's number 9 most selling mangas of all time. It's in that top 10. And as a matter of fact, if your favorite series happened to be One Piece, Shaman King, or Flame of Recca, Ice Shield 21, those three mangaka, Oda, Hiroyuki Takei, and Shinya Suzuki, they all worked under, they were former assistants of I'm going to say his name wrong, so I'm just going to look at it on the book. Nobuhiro Watsuki. And it's so funny that when I think about the influences, because this thing had its 25th anniversary in January of 2021. And yeah, I think about the influences of this manga. Kenshin Himura was one of the first main characters that didn't kill anybody. When you think about Dragon Ball, death kind of doesn't matter. People can get brought back, right? Even the villains can get brought back. But Kenshin is he is like the prototype of Luffy, the prototype of Naruto, where you don't kill your villains, you just beat the crap out of them, and hopefully they change their minds, right? Just hopefully they do a total 180. And he's been and when they did the 25th anniversary, all three of those guys, as well as Takeshi Obata from Death Note, Kishimoto from Naruto. You got the guy who did Toriko, Mitsuyoshi Shima Bukuro. Very hard name to say. Hideki Sorachi, guy from Gintama. Actually, he even acknowledges Rurouni Kenshin being a direct influence. As a matter of fact, Kenshin Himura influences this guy's design here, which, yeah, putting two and two together. Did I do extra research before going into this first episode? Yes, I did. You're dang right I did. This is one of the series that is near and dear to my heart. And I love the fact that we are getting this remake because that means more merch. That means I can get a shirt that fits. I can get a statue of Kenshin. Probably going to get like 3 or 4 of those. And of Saito Hajime. Oh, we see him in this episode, by the way. It starts off with a flashback of Bakumetsu era, where it's what was it? They want to unify Japan, right? You know, Oda Nobunaga. They're trying to unify Japan, and it's going to be the end of the samurai era because the samurai feudal system was it was corrupt. It was more or less corrupt. You got a lot of samurai basically killing people because they know, they were basically up there. They're like lords and vassals and things like that. But this show opens up with Kenshin killing the Shinsengumi. Ha! Kind of feels bad if you're big fans of the Shinsengumi from, I guess, what was that? Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon features them a lot. Shinsengumi are kind of sketchy too. It depends on what you're watching to see who's a good person and who's a bad person throughout history. And I kind of like, that's one of the things I like about Japan, especially with their mangas and their animes. They're not afraid to kind of go and say, I think those guys were cool, so I'm gonna make this anime about them. And yeah, well, I'm gonna have some jerks that are from there, but these main dudes show that this was what the spirit was. They have no problem playing around with their history. Excuse me. I apparently, and I didn't realize this, because of Kenshin's more androgynous looking, because if you just look at a picture of him, he has long red hair, orangish red hair. It's like a big guy, but that can be a woman. And that's one of the other things that people love about it because it's unique. He didn't really have that. You know what I mean? If you look at Saint Seiya, those guys look like they're 80s rock band people, which is good, which is cool. Love me some Saint Seiya. Love me some, I guess they call them Knights of the Zodiac in the West. Same thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You get unique looking art. And one of the things I just learned, I didn't realize that the manga was recontinued in, was it 2017? Nobuhiro-san and his wife, they write the Hokkaido arc, which is Kenshin getting back his Sagabato, the reverse blade sword, and doing the best that he can to defend people. Because I apologize to anybody that's new. You're coming into these episodes new. I might have slight spoilers. This is a 27-year-old property. Maybe they'll change some things. I'm hoping that this anime is so close to the manga and they just keep it going because the manga's still going now. Because his sword art technically deteriorates his body. You will find out probably in like season 4 if they're doing this like modern anime where you get like 12 to 13 episodes, which I really think they should. You'll probably find out in season 3 or 4 why the sword art Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu is hard on his body. Pardon me. And I wish I could just keep going on and on about this show. But you know what about this series, actually about this franchise? It's a popular franchise. You get both Kenshin and Shishio Wakamori from that Kyoto arc. They're in fighting games. They're in Jump Force. They're in was it Jump Stars? Jump Ultimate Stars. The probably one of the best DS games to have ever been created. These are popular characters. As a matter of fact, when I think there was a popularity contest in 2021 by TV Asahi asking people what were their top 100 like favorite mangas of just period. And Rurouni Kenshin got 31. That's pretty damn high. As for this new series, the director behind it, and I know I saw this somewhere. The director behind it, he also helped direct Cells at Work. I have not personally seen Cells at Work, but I've seen a lot of clips, and the animation for Cells at Work is phenomenal. And that's kind of the point of bringing this back. It's like the Shaman King remake, the 2020, the 2020, 2021, 2021 Shaman King remake. Reboot? Not really reimagining, but remake, right? You make it close to the manga and you give us outstanding visuals. I grew up in the 90s, right? So I appreciate that 90s, that the details that we got in our older animes. Amazing. Funny enough, that spirit is still carried on here. There's still tons of details. There's tons of details and the fighting too. I'm glad that new audiences can see this. I'm absolutely giddy. I also need to try to find out where I can find and read the continuation of this because holy crap, wow. Spinoffs after spinoff after spinoff. Yes, if his name sounds familiar because of controversy, very, very long story short, when it comes to Japan did a lot of changes when it came to the ages of consent and having child pornography. Now, they gave you a chance to get rid of the stuff if you were in possession of it. And I was not going to go any deeper into what was going on with that. But apparently, Nobuhiro-san apparently had some stuff. I guess the stuff he had wasn't bad. Wasn't as bad because it doesn't look like he had any jail time. Looks like he had a hefty fine or something. I'm not going any further into that. I love the series. I'm separating artists from art. Plus, he still has his wife. I have no clue how that thing works there, but that's sincerely none of my business. I'm talking about Rurouni Kenshin, my favorite manga. Possibly soon to join one of my favorite animes. I don't even know where else to continue. I guess I can just continue talking about the show. Obviously, this is the starting point. It's where we meet Kaoru, who correctly identifies him years later as being Battousai the Manslayer, right? But someone else is going around saying, I'm sorry, Battousai the Manslayer is actually what we called him in the West, but Hikitori Battousai. I'm just going to say Battousai the Manslayer from here on out. But he's just, at this point, he's just a Rurouni, which is literally a made-up word. It's supposed to be a wandering Ronin, wandering samurai, right? And someone's using the name, some large 6-foot guy. First of all, I appreciate you saying over 6 feet because you could have easily done... I can't remember the other show that I review that talks about shakus. Like, this guy's 3 shakus, 4 shakus. Demon Slayer. I'm like, I don't know how many stones is that? Can you tell me how many boulders is that tall? Thank you for just going out. Yeah, he's 6 feet tall. Which the 11th year of the Meiji era is in 1878. So that gives you a little bit of time frame of when all this stuff is going on. We do get a clash when the guy is killing the police, literally just murdering folks. And when Kaoru meets him, she does get a bit injured. And we get this very... I don't know if this was ever present in the original anime, right? Because I'm younger, because I was younger. But here, when speaking with Kenshin and saying things like, I keep this dojo open because it was her father's, Kamiya, yeah, the Kamiya Kashin Ryu, supposed to be the life-bringing sword because her father served in that war back in the Bakumatsu where Kenshin was murdering all those folks. And he got called over to have I believe it was the Seinen War, joining the Metropolitan Police. He died over there. She took over, had 10 students. All the students left because this Battousai guy is using the name of the school. And I love when my shows, when I go, yeah, why is no one questioning that this dude is just outright saying, I go to this school and I'm the murderer, man? Why is no one questioning this? And she flat out goes, I don't know why he's using a name. I don't even know if he's the real Battousai. And you have Kenshin trying to convince her, saying, look, first of all, stop going out at night. You're not as strong as this guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being a swordsman, you're supposed to know that, who's stronger, who's weaker. I don't think your dad will want you to sacrifice your life for pride of the school, but we get a meaning. We can understand how much it means to her. And she does lash out at Kenshin saying, what would a mere Rurouni like you understand? Because apparently, according to the old man that bandages her up, Ruronis are just failures at life. Which, if y'all knew who this man was, y'all wouldn't even try to even talk trash about this man. But in this time, it's illegal to have a sword. 3 days later, she bails him. Well, technically, the old man bails him out by bribing the police with money because cops suck in every era and in every medium. I said what I said. And she does apologize to him, and she offers for him to like come over there and stay for a little bit since he's a wanderer. But of course, our man Kenshin has been trying to find this dude's hideout, and somehow Kaoru was able to know that he's probably a swordsman from a dojo, a failure would-be samurai from a dojo 2 towns over. And of course, kid's like, I gotta run an errand though, so I might see you later. Goes over there, kicks everybody's butt. And the real plot, which was very much hinted at, I guess you could forget it. You could forget judging by, hey man, this old man's helping her out. Dude, and they're gonna try to force her to sign the deed over, which I guess all they did was just cut her thumb and get the little blood print on there. Cause this dude, massive man, breaks her wooden sword. Everyone's like, he's berating her, saying, fighting is for violence, swords are meant for killing. Of course, our boy Kenshin comes in after beating the hell out of everybody else at the other location, comes in and delivers a great speech. I took time to write this down, and I'm just gonna try to see if I remember most of it from the. He said swords, and he said, "No, I don't agree with her. Swords are weapons. Swordsmanship is a means of murder. He's not part of that life giving sword stuff. And no matter how you try to sugarcoat it, is lofty ideals. That is the truth. By the way, Kenshin speaks very weirdly. So where he has a confused thing called oro, like when he's confused with oro, but he ends off his words with that it is, or that she is, or that he wouldn't. Very odd way of speaking, almost like a Yoda old man way of talking. One of his voice actor, his English voice actor, did a really great job. I have no clue who was playing him in this remake for the on the Japanese side. Gonna do my best to have that for you next week, but voice acting was done great. The voices matched up. But he does say that he, the stuff that Miss Kaoru's talking of a sweet, naive lie that only those who have never had blood on their hands can say. But he says, I prefer her sweet lies than the truth. Good guy, cool guy. He gets ganged up on, uses the called useless reverse blade sword, and is taking out people 4-5 swings at a time. He's fast. The swordsman in the room, Kaoru, and this giant fake Kenshin, Battousai, called Himura Gohei. They're able to see like, oh man, this dude's super fast. And when he's doing taking out all the lackeys, he explains to them, by the way, the sword art that Hikitori Battousai uses is not Kamiya Kashin Ryu. It's an ancient sword art from Sengoku era called the Hiten Mitsurugi. It's meant for speed. It's a sword style for one against many. And honestly, if I wasn't using reverse blade, everybody in here would be dead already. And everyone's Kaoru. I love that Kaoru's like, oh, it's you, not the I can't. No, there's no way. No, thank you for having characters be smart. Even big man's like, Okay, I'm gonna test my swordsmanship against this guy. I'm gonna beat you down. It doesn't matter how fast you are, but it does, because one minute he's on the floor, next minute he's above him, and just one slam slams this guy into the ground. I'm trying to now, if I remember correctly, I thought in the original first episode, I thought he had hit guy on the knuckles and it broke his hand to the point where he can never properly hold a sword again. Maybe that's episode 2. I don't remember. But yes, easy victory. He's about to leave. Well, first he makes the other guy. He just turns his blade at him. Dude passes out and pisses himself. So that's a thing. Which good, another good quote here. Those who yada yada, good grief. Those who have devious schemes are usually the most cowardly, and they show themselves. Yeah, dude's like, I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna pass out and pee on myself. But he was gonna leave, right? And he apologizes to I wasn't trying to fool you or anything, but things would get kind of messy, so I'm gonna go. But she offers for him to stay because she says, well, and I know this is just quick thinking on her part. I can't rebuild the dojo by myself. Help me out. I don't give a damn about your past. It'd be kind of hard for the real, Battousai to be here, and you're trying to rebuild it. And she says, I'm more interested in the Rurouni. And she turns her back, thinks that she hears him close the door as he walks out. No, he stays, tells her his name. His real name is Kenshin. Well, the name he's using is Kenshin Himura. And I like that, we get the narrator saying, in this 11th year of the Meiji era, this romantic tale begins. And she goes, wait a minute. And the fade to black goes away. She says, wait a minute, if you were fighting during that Meiji era, you got to be over 30 years old. How are you over 30 looking like that? Good genes. But yes, Kenshin is technically, I think he's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's 32. Yeah, I think he's actually 32. Yeah, old man. I believe Kaoru is 18 or 19. I'm not super sure on this one. They probably won't mention her age because that gets things messy. It just does. They probably won't mention it. But this was the ending. First of all, complete bias, 5 out of 5. It's 5 out of 5 for me because animation was great. That opener, for newer people, the flashbacks of what's happening or what has happened to him, those are so important. And I love that those appear here. We don't get those. We didn't get anything like that in the original, because storytelling in anime has definitely changed. You will get flashes of what was someone's backstory, of somebody's backstory in the modern era of anime, which is much appreciated because this needed it. This was great. As a matter of fact, I'm going to predict that at least maybe 3 at the most, we'll get 3 episodes showing fully what was going on back there. At least 3. I hope we don't get just a single episode, because learning about why he finally gave up killing as being the most legendary manslayer of all time, that's gonna hit you right in the boop. It's also the reason for this last arc here. So I'm very, very curious on if they're going to, since I just learned that the series continue, maybe they'll go for 3, because the original had 3 seasons, tons of filler. If they're going to do 3 to 4 seasons of like the original stuff, then bring in that newer stuff, because this newer manga, the Hokkaido arc, is still going on. So who knows? But 5 out of 5 from me. If I wasn't biased, it'd get a 4.5 out of 5, because this animation is really good. This is how you introduce characters. This is how you do not delay anything. Your main female character is smart enough to go, I know who you are. She is not just kind because she doesn't know bloodshed, but she is like almost, I don't want to say the opposite of him. You can tell that she's very kind and giving and caring, and he's kind too. But she's coming from a place of having not known that darkness. And at its core, Rurouni Kenshin, besides being a swordsman romantic tale, it is a story of redemption of a man who is trying to right to try to help as many people as he has killed in the past. I may actually review those live actions now. I've seen, I think I want to say I've seen at least the first three. The last two I have not seen. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and just rewatch all of them because those are the best live action remakes. Yeah, if just top of my head, the best ones I can think of. As a matter of fact, the lead star for that, I want to say is his name Takeru Saito. You're here with me. We're just gonna look this up very much live because I hate getting names wrong. Name's right there. Oh, Takeru. Yeah, I got it right. Takeru Saito, who is from Kamen Rider Denno. He's actually the reason why Kamen Rider Denno is amazing. Also, because he's very famous, it's very hard to get him back on like celebration shows for that series. He came back once, and it was unbelievable they were actually able to do that. But yeah, fantastic. I gotta review those. I gotta review those. But yeah, that is enough gushing from me. Let me know what you thought of this first episode. Actually, what do you think of Rurouni Kenshin, period? Like the manga? Do you like the manga? Do you like the old anime? Do you like the OVAs? Do you continue reading it? Have you even started reading it? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. We're going to keep going. I find it to be a privilege to be able to review one of my favorite franchises in this day and age. I wonder if they're going to stop after the Oniwaban group arc. That would be a good place to stop. If they're going to do 12 episodes, Oniwaban group, then take a break. I'm hoping they do that. But please, be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. Make sure you stay safe out there, all right? All right, and just remember, you're not alone. If you're ever feeling alone, make sure you reach out to somebody. There's someone out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. My social media is right at the bottom. Please feel free to give me a follow. Don't be a jerk. That's it. And until next time, I'm Shane. I'll see you guys later.